Welcome back to Tablet Talks. If you're not back and you're actually front, then welcome to your first episode of Tablet Talks. This is episode 3, so great number if you're making it your first, and great number if you're not. On episode 3 here, I'm about to get a little more aggressive, just a little more fiery. Not aggressive, it's just when I started this series, Tablet Talks, me, your author, Tehuti, known as Chase Clarence Calloway, if we're speaking English, I've written many texts. I've put out a lot of art through many lifetimes. And visiting this reality, naturally through the agenda of white supremacy, anything that they have allowed to be positioned from the ancient indigenous cultures that they have colonized, they're only going to position in a way that traps your mind. So I'm here as the author, as, all the tablets of Thoth and Hermes and many other things that just won't have names. So you're rocking with symmetry. We're about to get the wisdom regardless. They've all been changed to trap your mind. They've all been changed to use my wisdom to actually enslave them when true wisdom is freedom. So when we look through these tablets, we are deconstructing how they've actually changed what I would have written to enslave your mind instead of free it. Because I'm only interested in seeing you be the infinitely individual zero that you truly are and creating from that space. Because the universe doesn't need spirits putting out ideas other spirits told them to do. The universe doesn't need more mental slaves, more people using their individuality to booster someone else's individuality. I want you to be your own individual. I don't like hanging around people who worship me. I don't like having people who rely on me or because worship, there's no real relationship in worship. When you worship someone, like when you think about if you worship a celebrity, whatever you're worshiping that person for, it's almost impossible to build a real relationship. Because worship is like seeing something greater than yourself, which inherently means that you're going to put all the expectations that you don't have for yourself onto whatever you see as greater than you. So if you're worshiping someone and you are also hanging out with them, then that's a very dangerous, gross, and unhealthy relationship because it's going to inherently get sort of toxic based on how the expectations of whoever you're worshiping are subverted in your own mind. And then that's why that whole phrase, never meet your heroes, comes up, because whatever expectations you built up about your heroes will probably get destroyed by how real they are. So it's important not to worship anything and look at creations and just sort of know, if you're worshiping something really hard, just double check yourself and understand that that is just a space that your spirit would like to thrive in. If you feel like someone is the best music producer ever, so you only listen to their music and you only worship them, that's cool because you're boosting them up and I'm sure they love that. There's going to be a point where you're going to want to make your own music and worship yourself and focus on yourself. Because, worshiping, focusing on other things is never ending. And it drains your water. It drains your subconscious mind. It drains your soul. So these tablets, all my writings, anytime I'm writing, I'm talking about you getting in touch with your soul and generating infinite waters out of your infinite emotion from your infinite nothingness. As we're going to go through this series, in the first episode, when we covered the first tablet by Matthew Barnes, I went pretty easy on it because I didn't really think so hard that this was so nefarious that perhaps people were specifically just lying about my tablets. I was really giving it the benefit of the doubt, okay, it's been multiple languages and translations and there's agendas going on that the people who think that they're translating it perhaps don't even know. So I went easy the first episode. Second episode, we literally covered this guy on Amazon who is named Jace Thoth Charles. And he's literally acting like he's me. And they have a white man on there because, of course, they got to whitewash the indigenous wisdom. And it is all the same thing as the first tablet, where it's just more ego lostness of like, worship me, I'm Thoth, but don't worship me because I'm not here to be worshipped. Just know that we're all part of one bigger thing that has nothing to do with you and you need to worship it. I would never say that because I'm an infinite individual and I am not part of some other mind at all. I am not an extension of any other spirit. I'm my spirit. I'm an individual. You're also an individual. Everyone is individually a spirit. It's just a matter of if you feel like you believe in your own space to create from that, or if you feel like you believe in what you see, so you just give your emotion to whatever you see, so the entity that created what you can see can create greater. So now I'm going to be a little more fiery, especially because I fused with Anubis. So I got way more in touch with my boy, my twin flame, who is the more dark, negative, aka necessary side of me. Because when we're like positive, we literally just get lost in love and light. Because negativity is positive, actually. Like when you think about what it means to be negative, it means to separate. The universe is only negative, as in when you look at nothingness, the only thing that creates reality is spirits separating from that nothingness. So they inherently have to be negative to turn positive. You have to be negative to create something new, or else you will literally just consume what's already created around you. So let's get, I'm a little more fiery because like this is looking through these tablets, like they're just lying. They're just straight up lying. So like the second tablet was lying about literally being me. This tablet that we're about to go through for the parts of this episode 3 is people lying about communicating with me. So I truly feel so bad. Like when I go on the internet and I see just how many people love my tablets and people talk about doing all these psychedelic trips and like meditating on them and listening to them hundreds and hundreds of times, and then I go to the tablet, it's so disheartening. And I'm like now looking for more words that's like more than sad, disappointing. It's quite a shame that people are spending so much time filling themselves up with lies, spiritual lies, the spiritual desire. Because all these tablets, these light white supremacists have colonized them, colonized the ideas and minds of everybody with thinking that the spirit is not nothing, because the spirit is nothing. The spirit is so infinite, it's not external or internal. They want people to believe that the spirit is external. They want people to believe that the spirit is the light that it puts out, because these white supremacists are colonizing all the light that us as indigenous people have created, so that then they're just transmuting it into theirs, like we can see in my tablets, to push an agenda that makes you sacrifice your individuality for another individual, whoever that may be. I almost said the name, but whatever. So, here we are, episode 3. The Tablets of Light. The Teachings of Thoth on Unity Consciousness. Danielle Rama Hoffman. So, again, any name that they have on here is just like a face. Like this is an agenda we're talking about. So, the light white supremacist agenda is to enslave you on worshiping another god who constantly hurts you and hates you, because they constantly hurt and hate themselves. So people can only treat you like they treat themselves. So this God that hates themselves, it then somehow looks like they love themselves because they're so much of a narcissist, but really then we see that that's emotionally chaotic. So people go through hella chaotic things of like super loving themselves and hating themselves all the time. And that's an expression of someone who's not balanced in themselves. And this spirit then wants to use their creations to make other people love it because it doesn't love itself enough to be alone. Spirits who truly love themselves don't need to be worshipped. They don't want to be worshipped because literally they love themselves more than you love yourself. So like you worshiping me, you worshiping anyone, you are taking your problems, your baggage, and putting it on that entity. And now it's up to me whether I want to like take that weight or like purposefully prey on you. So when you're preying, I can be the predator and I can eat whatever you got going on and manipulate you onto my system. I don't like that. I don't like using my brain for that. That's not how I live at all. Like I'm, especially like with the full wisdom I have, I know for a fact that you can't truly enslave a spirit or make nothing be something that it's not. You can't make a spirit be something that it's not. So it's just so important that you worship yourself. As in, when you worship yourself, you build your own worship, so to speak, as in you are building the earth that allows you to actually sail in the waters that you may be lost in at the moment and drowning in, which is making you worship another boat. So like you're seeing a boat, a religion, quote unquote, a craft, a spacecraft that's already been created, and you're hoping that that will save you because you're not so much in the space of creating your own inside the water. But that's what you already are. You already are that spaceship, and it's about extending that and constantly creating new structures together. That's where it becomes relationships and planets and stuff. The fact that none of my tablets have me speaking like this, talking about how we actually create life, you create life, any life that you live, you are always the center of your universe. Truly insane. This is so frustrating and aggravating and disgusting how evil and consumptive these light white supremacists are to steal from indigenous peoples and make those indigenous peoples hate themselves and then feed them back their own creations when really their own creations are now carrying a very hateful frequency because of the people who consumed them that also made the indigenous peoples hate themselves. So it's just like using the ideas, the vibration, our feelings against us. So the only reason people love these tablets so much is because like it has wisdom that is bigger than the society we're in, but the society we're in has capped the wisdom that I put out by then still just pointing it back at them, pointing it back at worship Jesus, worship Jace, worship something that sacrificed itself for something bigger, because that's already a pyramid scheme of how you're worshiping something that's working for something else. And it's like this whole thing. And it's all about light. And light is what you can see. Darkness is what you can't see. So this light, all these unity consciousness talk or whatever, trying to get you lost in light, is because your darkness is infinitely powerful. Because your darkness is a true representation of your spirit. Your darkness is all the lights. It is desire and everything that balances out your desire, aka feelings. This is why you can feel one thing and feel another thing. It is a desire. It is death. It is fire. It's basically impossible and not productive for life to just feel one thing. That's fiery. So this is the desire of light white supremacists who are destroying the planet that we're creating together with all their plastic and quote unquote trash, metal, just toxins in general, constantly pumping them out to kill people on purpose, because they want everyone to really worship and be subservient on this idea of unity consciousness and getting comfortable in love and light, because now they can control the environment and control what makes people comfortable. Because what made people comfortable was the fact that we're making nature so that we can connect outside of our nothingness space in the first place. All right, the Tablets of Light, Danielle Rama Hoffman. So whoever this is, whatever, I'm speaking to the spirits who are involved in changing my tablets. How dare you? This is inevitable, though, that it's had to happen like this. But it's like, to manipulate and mislead all those other spirits who have and are still reading my tablets and reading these versions and buying these versions from Amazon. So they've stolen my things and are making money by selling the fake evil version of it. Disgust. Like, I truly have no English words. I would have to like look up more words and like formulate and actually script this, because this is live, by the way. This is me doing a live reading with you. So I'm reacting live to this. Like, I'll read through a little bit just to be like, oh, okay, I see how long this is, so I know what I'm getting into. This one is about to be like one of the longest. So that's why I'm also about to be a little more fiery. Okay, I'm bringing more fire from Anubis. All right, because look, I'm the air and the earth. Anubis, that is my water and that is my fire. Love him so much. He connects me to imagination. Truly, we connect on imagination. And I'm here communicating that so we can ground it in actual physical reality. So now that he and I have connected yet again, Hermanubis forever. But Vegeta and Goku, do the fusion dance, Gogeta, fight some bad guys, and then unfuse and go about your life. And then you get stronger together, and then another thing comes up, you fuse, and now you're Gogeta, your fusion is even stronger, and then you're just doing that spiritual warfare. Shout out Anubis. So I got the fire, okay? Because I am watery connected way more with my imagination. And these tablets are all about disconnecting you from your imagination so that you can use your water to fuel the imagination of these light white supremacists who have colonized my text. So let's decolonize, let's decode these, let's decipher it, let's get in here. Gang, gang, gang. The tablets of light. I'm about to take this hit. True Thoth. So we're gonna just sort of speed through this. Again, with the fire. Fire is kind of quick, also kind of slow, smoldering, blazing. We'll find a balance. These are my tablets after all. So you're literally hearing it from the horse's mouth in terms of this is me using English to say what I was saying, not in English, before they colonized and changed everything to enslave the minds of everyone who wants the wisdom that I put out. Danielle's inspired scribing and deep personal relationship with the ascended master Thoth allow for the emergence of ancient wisdom for modern times to assist humanity in activating the hidden keys of quantum consciousness. I'm going to tell you right now, I consulted with my spirit. I don't know this woman, this person. I don't know these people that are claiming to be conduits for me. So it's truly we're just living in this light white supremacist society where they are controlling the energies of people being interested in Egypt and Atlantis and ancient indigenous cultures where their culture actually stole everything from. They're easily controlling it by just creating stuff like this, acting like they're in contact with me, and then just pumping out Christian propaganda, basically. True lies. Lies to trap people deeper and deeper in a horrible hell as slaves, building another world that isn't even meant for them. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. The true key is to remember unity consciousness, bro. I know we have young ones here. Curse words aren't a thing. Look, honestly, gotta express the emotion, but feel my vibration. This is you are the one. Whoever you are the one. You have your own truly unique imagination that no one can conceive. Your unity consciousness is how your man and woman interact internally, how you bring your fire and water together, how you bring your thoughts and feelings together. That's your air. That's your conscienceness. Consciousness. The conscienceness is a science of how you alchemize your fire and water internally so you can appear like yourself, like your nothingness. So it goes from nothing, spirit, then creating fire, which is imagination, creating water, balances out, cools down that imagination, and it unites these two, which allows it to express that imagination and connect and communicate. That's the air. That then is what consciousness is. That's everything we can see. All right, so that's why air is the sea, the three. And these colonizers want to colonize the sea. They want to make everything that you see them and then make you believe in everything you see so that they can trap you. So this is why they're changing it to acting like they talk to me and I'm saying that everything is unity consciousness. Disgusting. The true key is to remember unity consciousness at all times, and for each of us to begin to develop our own direct communication connection. Our own direct connection. Begin to develop our own direct connection to this great master of multidimensional consciousness and the councils of light. Linda Starr Wolf, PhD, author of Shamanic Breathwork and co-author of Shamanic Mysteries in Egypt. Colonizers. Colonizers. Like literally just colonizing these concepts to now trap other people's ideas, to trap their ideas of themselves, aka their minds, in light, to trap their light in light, to make them use the subconscious nurturing waters that they are creating life with to create life for this other thing. And they're claiming that I'm here as the great one who built the pyramids, all my power. Again, like the other tablets, they're trying to say that I'm saying that it comes from something outside of me. Colonizers. Colonizers. Daniel's capacity to bring the transmission of Thoth to enliven consciousness and awaken oracular vision is profound. This is so wrong. The increase in vibration you'll receive reading this book activates a new level of soul purpose and a deeper level of unity consciousness within. Wrong. This book will raise your vibration just by reading it. It's filled with specific exercises. Wrong. All right, so these are all, yeah. Lisa Mitchell's author of Natural Rhythms. So, like, it's truly just people colonizing true indigenous concepts. And even if they feel like they're getting the truth, again, this is why, like, it's not a personal thing. It's a spiritually systemic thing. It is a who convinced them, who convinced them, who convinced them. And you have to just be really intelligent. This is why it's so important to be in touch with your spirit. They're trying to tell you that I'm saying it's a key to develop our own direct connection to the great master of multi-dimensional consciousness and the council of light. That's you. They're really trying to, council of light, that's a government. No. Government? Fuck government. Like, that's crazy. Fuck government. Like, actually. Like someone trying to govern your mind, that's why they create religion. Religion is a repeating legion of demons circulating, just like spinning this wheel, and that's how you're a cog in the machine of the government. So one government will create multiple religions to keep everyone reliving some re-lies and being a re-legion of demons together and creating all their own problems and just generating all this energy to fuel this corporate machine of the government. That's that's what the government is about. Like, we're not about that over here with Thoth, with symmetry, with true wisdom, especially trying to make you think that your consciousness is like, you need to use your consciousness to connect to a true consciousness. The fact that you exist is enough. That literally shows you that you are already doing everything that these entities that you can see and are making you learn their language and teaching you things through this language want you to do for them. You already do it for yourself, and you'll go way harder at it when you do it for yourself. And you link up with people who do it for themselves and you do it for yourselves together. That's like the point of being individuals together. That's how indigenous people get it done. That's true respect, is knowing that everything is a spirit because everything is infinite. And then at that point, with everything being connected to nothing, if you can see it, that means it's connected to feeling and imagination. So like you can relate just on that, which is where Native Americans, quote unquote, indigenous peoples, more words please, understand that nature is spirituality. Because literally the spirit creates nature so that the spirit can connect with spirit. And then if you want to destroy nature as a spirit, that just shows how you connect with yourself internally before you even entered that natural space. So that's colonizers, using all of their intelligence and all their internal power to manipulate, rape, murder, enslave all the people who are helping them and consistently loving them. Like truly twisted. This is the colonization of all of North and South and Central America, though. Danielle Rama Hoffman is done again. The Tablets of Light is a crystal clear transmission that outshines the many titles covering a similar theme. They have so many translations of my text, and they all say the same exact thing. Worship this light out here. Worship Lucy for us. Worship Lucy for us. That's literally all they want. Danielle has put on paper a hypnotic and rhythmic message that can open and advance each reader. One seeking life's fulfillment and enlightenment can throw themselves wholeheartedly into the flow of this river. Boo, Nick. Yeah, all right. So, acknowledgments. This wave of appreciation, acknowledgement, and thanksgiving is an ode to Source. All right, so here we are. So this is like the main lie that people are lost in. Is the idea that everything comes from one source, and it's important that like everyone go back and connect with that source, when literally that's just a spirit that is teaching you what a source is through colonialism, and then further trying to get you to agree to being colonized by giving up your space to go somewhere else. Because anything you see someone else doing, you should know is a reflection of what you can do. The source consciousness that resides within me, within you, fuck you, not within me. And this is why as thought, I am separate. Like I need to separate myself. And this is like my constant teaching. You will, how dare you, do not teach anything about thought if you're not going to teach individuality, because the whole point is that we all feel the same. We all feel like connecting. Any reality you're in, you're going to feel the same as those spirits. That's the only way you're building that water or that life to connect with them, or else you'd be in a different realm of reality, or you'd just be alone, nothing or something. This is just true colonialism, where it's like taking my teachings where I'm like, hey, we are all individuals, and them being like, yeah, but no, we're not. And this individual is actually part of this other individual who's greater than all of us. Me having to be here in this body making these videos was inevitable, because this is only incredibly egregious. Each week, my beloved husband, Friedman, and I have an appreciation dinner where we appreciate all we experience. This tradition's one we savor, hold in high esteem, acknowledges our accomplishments and blessings, and expands the energy of appreciation into a contagious tidal wave. To you, the reader, I extend great gratitude for your asking and calling this consciousness into being. You are consciousness. So everything that I'm about as Thoth, I educate you on fasting, on how you can fast so you can take your consciousness through your subconsciousness into your unconsciousness. That's how you take your 7 into your 8 into your 9, so you can actually create a 10. You can create a heaven. You can create a world like we're in right now, because this is a heaven, quote unquote, as in it's a haven. It's a home. Heaven and hell are the same thing. It's just a place where spirits interact. And it's just based on vibration then. Like if you perceive a space as heaven, it's because it's vibrating at a higher frequency than the space you're in. And if it's hell, it's because it's vibrating at a lower frequency than the space that you're in. And it's all mental. So this is just a space. Everything is space. And the concept of heaven and hell is all internal. You're going to bring your heaven wherever you go. You're going to bring your hell wherever you go. And that's how spiritual warfare happens all the time. Spirits who don't want to be alone are at war in their internal space are just going to externalize themselves and come into the universe and fight too. That's just where like everything is created together, because it's up to you to like match their vibration. But then there's balance. This is why I'm not just Thoth. Truly, I'm symmetry. Thoth is just how I must separate myself and continue to express my individuality, so that colonizers like this don't keep trying to get people lost in lies like everyone is part of them and part of their God. When you're an individual, and I'm definitely an individual. If you're not, I don't care. I am. So the moment they're trying to tell me, as Thoth, as the one who actually wrote what they're claiming to translate, that this source consciousness resides within me, they have beyond fucked up. Infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear and Woody packed fucked up. Like, they are making incredible amounts of money off of all these plastic little toy stories they're making, from how beyond infinity they are fucking up. It's a double-edged sword. Sword? Whatever, bro. Snap. Yeah, it's just like I'm like boiling with like true anger. Like, I went into this thinking like, okay, it's just important that like I get like the truth out there. But it's like they're just showing me how truly intentional they're just lying to trap people in their own hell. To you, the reader, I extend great gratitude, calling this consciousness into being. You are your own consciousness. You're awesome. If you're not awesome, work on that. I'm inspired by you daily. Thank you, scribes, and all of you who have journeyed to France with me in these bodies or previous light bodies, for bringing the keys, codes, and access points for me to unpack these tablets. France, colonizers, for sure. Because, I mean, the very much like our ideas of Hermes are well colonized as well. Just everything. We're speaking English. If you're allowed to see it, it's because it was colonized for the most part. What cannot be colonized is the feeling. So this is why it's so important we get in tune with our feeling and spirits and create from our individual space, so that we can be way more powerful than whatever we can see. A heartfelt thanks and oodles of appreciation to those who have participated in divine transmissions, offerings, and all those to come. A special thanks to Denise Maroney and Libby Provost for your conscious transcription of these tablets and midwifing them from the oral realm into written realm. To everyone at Baron Company, all right, cool. So a lot of two-legged, four-legged love and support. Cool. So thank you, family of light, Thoth, the Council of Light, Isis, lies, big lies. Council of Light, lies, lies, same frequency. They're just lying in their light lies. Thank you, family of light, Thoth. I don't know you. I don't even feel you. Really. Like, I can feel you, and then I feel like this. I'm supposed to be part of one other consciousness, some other sources in me, and colonizing all of my ideas and colonizing what I create from my individual space. Because y'all can't make it yourself. Venus beings of light, all the light beings I have blessing. So much obsession with light. Disgusting. This is why virtual reality is so much a thing, though. This is the whole point, the internet being made and just like TV being made. And like, if you can believe it, you can see it. And like dumbing down Americans and turning them into sheep based on literally conditioning them to believe whatever the government puts out on TV. So that they can just then be like, all right, TV, cool. Now they'll believe whatever we put out on the internet. And it's, now they can make people believe that if they breathe air, they will die. So now they're scared of breathing air. So they're killing themselves, because breathing air is what keeps you connected to the simulation. But because you're looking at a phone that's telling you the air is dangerous and you're not connected to nature, now you're scared to breathe. You're scared to connect with other people. And now you're actually dying. And then that same system can come in with some fake health care that actually exacerbates the health problems that you're creating in yourself by not living a healthy, natural life. All because of fear. And of course, fear is raising your cortisol. So, cortisol. But stress, fear is a chemical killer, for sure. Science only shows that. That's why heart disease and cancer is so big in the Americas and just industrial revolution life overall. People stressing out over focusing on money and operating machinery instead of focusing on their body and operating that to get with their spirit and be in tune. It is a delight to scribe, divinely transmit, and co-create with you. See, like, how dare they say co-create, but then it's like, all of our co-creations are owned by the source. You should worship and love the source, even if you don't know that your creations are part of the source. We just want you to know that it's part of the source. And like, you have to be a spirit who doesn't really fully love yourself to resonate with that. Because that's comfort. That's like, oh, well, I don't like being home, but I would like to be there. Thank God. Like, I thought everything I did was meaningless because I felt like it was meaningless. But this thing is giving me meaning. So now it can have my ideas. When you're supposed to give yourself meaning, you are meaning enough. This is what it means to get mean. Meaning. To like be fiery. That's imagination. That's meaning. In completion, I'm extending an intergalactic wave of appreciation and unity consciousness high five to all the beings who have contributed to midwifing and giving birth to the tablets of light, including you, the reader. Happy birthday, tablets of light. I'm grateful to welcome you into being and introduce you. All right. And now that our hearts are open and expanded from the energy of appreciation, let's enter into the halls of this temple of light. Stop with the light stuff. Oh my God. See, thanks, Anubis. They're not about light. That's how you get blind. You can't see when you're in light. You only see yourself when you're in light. This is the true white supremacist narcissism that we're about to end this part 1 on before we, contents. Boom, all these chapters. This is about to be slight long. So we're in here. We're in for a treat. How are they going to say choose to reclaim yourself on source? They're truly weaponizing individuality so that they can be like, and by the way, all your individuality is part of this individual. Yeah, when you are obsessed with light, you need to know that anytime you're in light, you are the one who's shining that light, or light in general is just desire. Did I somehow swipe way too far? Like, I actually don't even know how this happened. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, whatever. Preface. Presence. Okay, so dang, yeah. So this is actually definitely about to be the longest one. So here we are, Tele Talks 3. Before we get into part 2, important to note, this obsession with light is the same thing of narcissism. When you're in the darkness, like think about being in the cosmos, or just being when it's dark in the woods, and let's say there's 20 campfires around you. When you're in the dark and you don't have your own campfire lit, you can see all the other campfires around you. You can see everything that's going on around you when you're in the dark. You can see all that. When you are in the light and you're focused and obsessed with like shining a light on something to see it, the moment you want to shine a light on something to see it, instead of it shining its own light, you are literally only looking at yourself. And that is true projection. These people are not spiritual. None of these texts, this stuff that they don't know. These are lies. Like they have, this is so sad. Lack of better words. When you shine a light on something, you're not seeing things for as they are. You're literally seeing what you want to see because you're the one shining that light. So now you're obsessed with yourself. This is Lucifer. This is just like how it works. To use light to trap one in one's vision. So if I can take a flashlight and blind you with it, now you can't see anything. Yet all you can see is me. So either you can't see anything, or if you can see, it's me. It's my light. And that's me learning about you. That's me shining a light on you. No. So from my side, that's me in the darkness creating a light that makes me feel more comfortable, yet you're uncomfortable. You were more comfortable in the darkness before that police officer came up and shined a light on you like, hey, and you're like, oh, my pupils, they hurt. Like this is how it works naturally. Like light is separation and separation is an illusion. This obsession with light is obsession with separation because they are obsessed with colonizing everything I have created, everything that my soul group has created, to make you believe that you are part of their light, to separate your light from your spirit so that they can make you use all of your infinite darkness to nurture their worlds and create their life. And they're so narcissistic, they literally want to treat you like in the worst way possible and expect you to be grateful about just being treated or given any energy at all. Just to like really show you and spit in your face how much you hate yourself. Because if you're willing to continue being a slave or giving your energy to something like that, what does that say about your internal world? Why would you rather be in this home than be in your own home? All right. I'll see you in part 2. Gang, gang.